This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Avast me hearties, and welcome once again to Full Stream Ahead. I'm your captain, Charlie, the Professor Esser, and with me as always is me first mate and skinny rich friend.
It's Mozz.
Hey Mozz, welcome back to Full Stream Ahead. Tonight's episode is Agent Carter, Season 1, Episode 4, The Blitzkrieg Button. Peggy may be in more trouble than usual when fugitive Howard Stark suddenly returns for mysterious reasons, and Chief Dooley chases a new clue all the way to Europe that threatens to destroy Peggy's future at the SSR. Our director this week is Stephen Cragg. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Yeah, they better give Stan Lee his credit in this episode.
Right.
Gets our Marvel Comics created by credit. Let's see, Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely get our created by, and Brant Eglestein gets our written by this week. Haley Atwell, of course, is the phenomenal Peggy Carter. Okay, man. So, should we talk about the chicken pocket or the gravy compartment? What to you was the most interesting idea?
Well, the gravy pocket, because I want to know how that works. Is there some sort of non-porous lining?
Yeah, I kind of assume there's some kind of a rubberized lining.
Right.
You see, the thing that always worries me about that is it's in a purse. So how do you keep it from spilling when you're carrying the purse? You know, I mean, honestly, I'm actually even a little bit more interested in the chicken pocket because, again, it comes to this idea, well, how do you – so I'm guessing you put the chicken in the pocket, then you put the pocket in another pocket so that you can wash out the chicken pocket later. You know, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how it works, but
yeah, I mean, it didn't look like they were not fed well to the point where they needed to sneak a whole chicken to their rooms. But I don't know.
I think this is a chick thing where they don't want to eat in front of each other.
Oh.
But they all know they eat, so they have to. And like, I guess it's like only one meal a day they get, or maybe 2 meals. They get dinner and breakfast included, which leaves them in that middle ground with no food. You know.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting how, certain kind of all-inclusive hotels would work. They usually give you 2 of the 3 meals on a regular basis.
Right.
So, but what I thought was most interesting is we see Ms. Dottie Underwood really fascinated by the gravy compartment, which is not something you think about until later this episode. And in the meantime, we also get a neat little bit with and actually this is actually at the start of the show. The start of the show is Jarvis trying to get where he's picking up something from some ne'er-do-wells that he is, I guess, ostensibly purchasing from someone by the name of Mr. Mink. And this is what bugs me in this scene. Why are you suddenly upping the price by twice the original requested amount? And to put it to you kind of simply, it's like, it's not like he couldn't have afforded it, But it's like, well, dude, even if he could afford it, you didn't tell him before now, so he probably doesn't have the money on him, you know?
Right. And it seems like they were sort of the henchmen or the delivery goons were out for themselves in this situation. And what would have happened if the guy said, nah, I think I'm walking? Are you really bringing the loot back to the boss saying, hey, I messed up and I didn't get your money, boss?
Well, they made the point that either he could give the money to them or the other guy could take it from him, you know. Implying that, we'll just kill you and take the money and we'll keep the item ourselves, which is an arguable option.
Right, but if you're at that point already, when he gives you the extra money, why do you need to give him, the doohickey at all?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just thought it was rather poor planning.
Sure.
Which is sad because they build up Mink really well this whole episode. I really feel that Mink comes through. I mean, yes, he clearly has way too much Joker in him, where he's just like killing henchmen left and right. So to the point where you can see, okay, so he's risen in the ranks because of his viciousness, but that is clearly going to bite him in the ass eventually. That is clearly going to come back and bite him. And sure enough, it does this episode. But I was very disappointed the first time I watched this, because the first time I watched this, I was like, oh, yes, this is going to be a cool villain. He's got this weird little Gatling gun pistol. I can't wait to see his overall story arc. And then, of course, he meets Dottie Underwood. And
wait, but no, it's not Dottie. Well, no, okay, so Dottie's the third girl that shows up, not the diner girl, right?
Right. Dottie Underwood is Dottie Underwood is the girl who is clearly ready for anything, because we see her do a certain move that is technically, kind of a trademark move of someone else in the MCU.
Natasha, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and gee, I wonder if that's going to come up later. Especially given
I didn't
that
catch that right off the bat, but that's really good. Wow.
Yeah, given that some of our bad guys are kind of Russians.
For sure. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and her and man, Minx just goes down. She just, jumps over him and takes it out. It is
twist his neck before she lands.
Oh yeah, well, because that's how you do. That's how they teach you to do it in the Red Room.
Yeah, I thought like she would be there to protect Agent Carter, but no, the way she was fascinated by the gun, I was like, whoa, okay, maybe she's a bad guy.
Yeah. Well, she is, in my opinion, 100% a bad guy, and she is sitting there going, like, oh, yeah, that is, that's a very nice gun you have there. And for what it's worth, it's an insanely nice gun, because it has way more bullets than it has any business holding. There's no clip of any kind, but somehow it's got like multiple. It had to have fired 100 rounds. I mean, clearly it has a sticking issue. I got the sense that it only fired those, 6 or 8 rounds that it had in it. It was a short burst. It's empty, isn't it? No, because he bursts it like 3 times. Yeah, no, it clearly had more bullets than barrels. So. Yeah, it is a fully automatic machine pistol, and it is definitely up there. And I can see why she likes it, as an assassin. Although I guess from her perspective, it's also just like, ooh, what a fun toy, because it's clearly not something I need to kill people. Yeah. So in this, of course, Dooley goes to Europe because they need to find out what happened at the Battle of Finnow, because they get the report that is basically, completely redacted. But when they wind up there, And I love the interaction between the Nazi and Dooley. And
was it like a cyanide pill?
No, it was a breath mint.
Oh, it really was?
Yeah, because you see him offer it to the guard after he's gone.
Right, and see, that's what threw me off. I thought, because like the Nazis are famous for wanting to kill themselves with cyanide pills, so I thought maybe he was giving him an easy out, and I thought it was like kind of like a really dark thing. And then as he's giving out, he doesn't want, the guard to know he was there either, so maybe he gave him a cyanide pill under the guise of a breath mint. Be like, oh, this guy will die too. And I was like, oh my God, Dooley's evil.
No, and he actually makes the statement when he gets back, where the guy says, how was the general? And he says, he's about 3 inches taller now. Which, is the point that he tricked the guy thinking he was going to give him a cyanide pill. And it's like, nope, you don't get it. You just betrayed for nothing. Because I keep breath mints in here.
Gotcha. I see. So that was the point. Oh, I see. I get it now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. It's what I'm here for, Mozz. But I did love the way he played him. And then, of course, we have, speaking of people getting played, Peggy really gets played in this. Because we learn about the Blitzkrieg Button, which is the thing that is the most, which Howard Stark says this is why he came back, because this is the thing that cannot fall into SSR hands.
Right.
And Peggy, of course, gets the item, and because she realizes Jarvis has a tell, she knows Jarvis is lying. And, she opens the Blitzkrieg Button, and it's not a Blitzkrieg Button at all. It is holding a sample of Steve Rogers' blood. Which is, again, everyone is lying to her. Everyone is treating her, as someone that can manipulate. Yeah.
Well, no, but, I mean, Stark did it because she was obviously not ready for the information or ready to react to it properly. And to his point, she did not. Right?
Well, I mean, I think if he had been upfront about it, I think she might have reacted in a different way.
That's
more to the point, but of course, the different way she may have reacted would have been like, no, Steve's blood actually should go to the SSR. That is SSR property, the fact that the previous, attempts to recreate the super soldier serum didn't work.
Yeah, but look at the guys you work with at the SSR. You think they are capable to handle the response?
Well, they have eggheads. Like they said, they have eggheads.
No,
I mean,
that's true.
I mean, we do see that they're having a hard time with Stark's inventions, but then these are all inventions that Stark did not release. So, like when the guy says, I push this button, I get this electric shock, and I don't know, is that the purpose of it? I don't see any other buttons on here. Why is this a device that when you push the button, it sends a shock into your forehead?
And then 2 days later, he can smell the color red,
Yes, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, to be fair, I get the idea that, basically not all of Howard's things in here, even if they may be brilliant ideas, aren't really practical ideas. It's like, well, what was I even thinking when I created this? But anyway, yeah. So I do think she feels betrayed by Howard. She feels betrayed by everyone. And for what it's worth, Thompson really, I mean, in his own cold-hearted way, makes a point about, like, Carter, why do you do this?
Yeah.
No man is ever going to respect you as an equal. You know that. So why do you put yourself through this?
And he's only saying this to her because he knows that the right thing is that she deserves better, but social conventions and him being a slave to them, he can't even be a party to it, even though in his own sort of incapable way, he's letting her know that.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, Thompson really, this was
This is a great episode for Thompson. Yeah,
they give Thompson a great episode without ever making him not be a total jerk.
Yeah,
they basically subvert everything. So when Sousa, when they get the hobo in, and Sousa is trying to appeal to this guy, Thompson's just like, dude, you want to get this guy to talk? Comes in with a bottle of rye and says, look at this sandwich. Isn't this good rye? And is eating a cheeseburger and drinking rye in front of this hobo. And the hobo's like, yeah, okay, here's everything that happened. Give me the rye and the cheeseburger. The rye first,
Yeah, because this whole season, these last 3 episodes, they've built him up to be like not as good at his job, and Sousa's been built up to be like, the actual war veteran, the one who's actually observant and actually noticing things. And here's a great moment where Sousa thinks he's smarter or better than him or understands people better than him, and he comes and teaches him something. And you're right about that subtle shift in how Thompson treats other people and views himself even when he's the authority figure. When Dooley's gone and he leaves him in charge, all of a sudden you see him take on the mantle of responsibility and take responsibility for it. He gets up there and says, hey, while I'm in charge, we're going to do work, yada, yada, yada. And even in this moment, instead of gloating to Sousa, he has an honest conversation with him and a real moment with him. And so from that perspective, it's like he's really trying to get something accomplished, and he's really trying to take care of his people, and he's really trying to lead them. I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
And they give him the line, which I think is it is such a beautiful line, especially in context of, because, putting everything into context, this is not too long after the Avengers came out. And the idea of, Kaminsky's first name being Agent. Mm-hmm. That, of course, is a whole thing, because, of course, that's what Tony Stark says about Phil Coulson. Says, mm-hmm. Phil, no, his name is Agent. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of Avengers, Stark says, oh, no, his name was Phil. But here, the idea that, no, his name is Agent is actually important. And it's a nice little way that they subvert expectations to tell a more interesting story than you might not have thought you wanted to see. And I really appreciate that. Anyway, so when we leave this is actually kind of a downer ending, because at the end of it, Peggy's kind of just dealing with the fact that everyone has lied to her, and, she's not quite sure what to do next, there's some nice bits out there with Howard Stark. In fact, one thing I noticed on my rewatch is Stark actually mentions that, Hotel Griffith. So he's actually been in Hotel Griffith before. So there are ladies there. They also make the point that, there's nowhere else for them to go, because, as it turns out, all of the shell corporations and dummy corporations, S.H.I.E.L.D. is already deep into those. So the building that's owned by a dummy corporation that's owned by another dummy corporation, they're already staked out in front of. So it is interesting, to say the least. The Stark arc here is neat. I think this is where, because does Stark meet Angela in this episode?
Angela is
the waitress.
The waitress. I don't think so.
You don't think so? Yeah. I mean, I guess for some reason we always thought she does, but I don't know, man. But yeah, the Stark, Girls of the Griffith scenario, it is an interesting little side plot. Especially because, Howard is so not cognizant of, this isn't a hotel with room service, for a guy who's been there before, you'd think he'd know. And honestly just how fed up Peggy is getting with Howard, which is also an interesting aspect of it. Yeah. So, yeah, as the story goes, it's all very, very interesting and a lot of fun. And it ends on a sour note because, Peggy's kind of realizing how alone she is. But, it's only the midway point of the series and there's still lots more to happen. So, any final thoughts on tonight's episode, Mozz?
No, I think we got to it.
I think we got to it too. In the meantime, if anyone is interested in supporting this show or any of the shows on the Southgate Media Group Network and the Capes and Lunatics Network, why don't you hustle on over to huntakiller.com, where you will learn of an amazing product that is basically a little test for your brain, which allows you to hunt a killer. You'll get clues and things of that nature that will guide you towards finding the killer eventually, so long as you are not led astray by the many red herrings I'm sure will be placed in your path. Likewise, when you're done with all that, if you're just looking for other adventures, why don't you swing on down to our show notes, click on that Amazon link, and go to Amazon and see the entire world of Amazon laid before you. It costs you nothing and helps out us here at Capes and Lunatics and the Southgate Media Group Continuum. And if you're really interested there, when you get there, you can look up Pod Life the book, which is a wonderful tome written by the folks here at the Southgate Media Group Network about why they podcast, what is podcasting, and how podcasting has changed their lives and in some cases saved their lives. So please check out Pod Life the book. In the meantime, once they've done all that, Mozz, if they want to reach out to you and ask you what you think about the Pod Life, how can they find you?
They can email me at mozzmanzor@gmail.com or find me on Facebook under Mozz Manzor. That's MOZZMANZOOR.
And, of course, you can always write to me that old-fashioned email way, the way our mothers and fathers did many years ago, at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong thing. My email address is superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. I'm dumb. Don't mind me. Write to me in that old-fashioned way at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Show you how old it is. That was when people still did blogs. But, hey, you know what? You may want to follow me on the Twitters, where I don't tweet anything because I fall asleep before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes on. But when I do, I will tweet it at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing.
Thank you, Mozz. All right, me hearties. This has been a long and winding voyage around the horn that is Agent Carter. Please disembark today, but come on aboard again next week as we once again go full stream ahead. Arr!